Yeah, I'm literally trying to figure out stream setup again. I don't know how my internet is today. Hope it's okay. Also, welcome Don Leche. Yeah, what we're gonna do today? First off, check out if this works because I don't think it is. But if it does, probably some Rust stuff. It's smooth as butter. Wonderful. Nice. Yeah, I just came back from Italy. I still have like a flu, and I'm stumbling over words and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I've been sick like all week, which kind of sucked. But how's everyone doing? Actually, who's in here? We have 3 people. Welcome, everyone. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. So there's this thing I've been working on. I'm like in the middle of a refactor, which is the hypercore module. Working on some methods here to what do you call that? Get verification working. So if you have like a whole stream, like a whole hypercore stream, and you have like a second hypercore stream, then you want to, or you know, if you have a whole hypercore stream and you have like this one signature which identifies the whole stream, you want to be able to be like, okay, cool, is the data that I have is actually valid, and then you can compare that, and that's what I'm implementing right now, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to work on that. Then there's this other thing which is kind of interesting. I'll be sniffing a lot. Where is it? This thing's kind of fun, which I might like try out to get some ROF support, some man page support for like all the Rust command line stuff, which we should probably build. I might just like clone that. Sorry about the sniffs. Get clone. There we go. ROF. Cargo run. Cargo test. Yeah. How's everyone doing? I'm really excited for the weekend. Does anyone have like any weekend plans? It's was my girlfriend's birthday last weekend. We were like both sick. I was a bit more ill than she was. So we're gonna have like a proper celebration this week. It's gonna be good. Convert trough to man page. Hello on Earth says, hello Nertis? Neartis? Oh god, I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, it was really shitty. I just couldn't sleep well either. So you know, you try and sleep and you like wake up more or less in the middle of the night. Everything's like stuck. You can like not breathe properly. I had to like keep going to the bathroom. So it was like really gross for like 4 days. In Italy, so not home. Yeah, so I'm just now I just have like congested nose and hopefully not an ear infection. Oh, TMI. I'm sorry. I'm usually like very like, oh, this is everything that happened to my body, and like, yeah, just it wasn't good. I'm sorry. Hello, near this works. Oh, cool. Okay, now I got it. I thought it was maybe like a what I call Lord of the Rings type of name, but hello, near this. Yeah, that's great. Like, oh, it's just elfish. That's all right. Um, I might just like have a little bit of fun with like man pages. My brain's a bit like dead from doing some other stuff. I was talking to Killer Cup about working on this, and someone should work on this, and you know we should be working on this at some point because Rust doesn't do man pages properly. Hell on earth is. Hell on earth. Hell on earth is happy. Yeah, that works. Person hell. MX hell. So disclaimer, I know nothing about Trough. I just know that if you do something like this, that this formats it as Trough, I guess. What if the tests demo.trough? Yo, that just works. That's amazing. Cool. So we can just point the man command to this. Corrupt general commands, menu corrupt. Mandate. General commands manual. What? That's kind of fun. Corrupt. Modify files by randomly changing bits. So the sh is name. Don't let just says it's left pane the source for the man page. Yeah. It's the trough format, which is what every man page is written in. So our idea, okay, here's the high level idea that I was having. Well, I more or less came up with it, and then like people polished it into like a better shape for us. But we want to implement this. I'm part of the working group for command line stuff, and this is like one of the big things that need to be added to truly make a difference. So there's this thing called Quickly, which uses this other thing, which I just forgot the name of, struct.opt. There we go. And struct.opt allows you to annotate a struct with like a bunch of options. It's kind of cool. And then it outputs like a complete help command. Do I have a good example? I don't right now. But this is like, you create a struct and you just say, well, here's my struct options, and you know, we do debug and we do struct opt, and then it like generates the help command, the version command, the authors, all the good stuff that you want from this thing, right? And then all you need to do in your main function is say get it from command line arguments, and then you get back a struct of type opt, which is really nice. Yeah, but there's like one shortcoming here, and that is that it doesn't generate man pages. So it would be really cool if, you know, all that was needed was just, you know, getting like defining this, and this would generate most of your man page. Sorry if I'm discussing right now. Yeah. So what's needed to create a man page is to write it out in the trough format. Gesundheit. Dankeschön. So you can, you know, get this. And there's some very basic ones that we can do. Like name, description, synopsis, options, all that stuff. It's the human condition. Yeah. Parset 7 bang project. What? What does that mean? I'm kind of curious. Okay, I'm gonna have one of these, one of those throat lozenges. I also got my giant box of tissues. I made myself, well, actually I got a coffee. I didn't get tea. but I've been making ginger tea like for the last week. It's so good. Like, I didn't work for a while, and I don't know. I'm just pretty chilled out, except my brain's fried, so I can't think properly, and like everything's congested. So I'm just like, ugh. But otherwise, it's pretty good. All right. So corrupt, modify files by randomly changing bits, yada 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 yada. We can probably generate that. Let's see what we already have. So this is Killer Cups code. I don't. Why is that flipping around? So we have rough, title, section, content, new. I feel like I'm missing some code. Huh. You're using a Twitch bot that supports a project command which prints a short Yo, what's that Twitch bot? Could you link it? Wait, hold on. Twitch project bot? If you know what that is, I'd be more or less interested in that. That sounds like so much fun. Do you know anyone that like uses it? Because I'd be Twitch Nightbot. Cool. Twitch Nightbot. All right. That's kind of interesting. Cloud hosted, chat logs, additional features. Interesting. Command. All right. Okay, I'm gonna pin this. I want to read more of this. Thank you. Like adding apple juice in my tea as a milk substitute. Mix regular berry teas and drink become. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. I'm a big believer of adding a little bit of lime juice in there. Like if you have like a ginger tea, not to like make it sour, but just, you know, it does the non-alcoholic hot toddy feel. Just helps. I like it. I'm also gonna go to a Turkish steam bath later today because my gym has one. I don't really want to work out, but I just want to sit there and like get everything steamed out and feel great. That'd be nice. Cargo T. Okay. Test/demo.trough. Test demo. So one test passed. Cool. So the API is let page is rough new corrupt one, section name corrupt, modify files. Actually, this already works. Yo, what are we like even working on? List. I'm like so down with this. Huh. Section name, corrupt modify files by changing bits, synopsis, corrupt. Ah, there we go. So this is really interesting. Huh. I don't know. So what this does is rough to ASCII, include string, demo trough, rough to ASCII, and page enter. And where's the rough to ASCII function? Comes from there. So it, oh, what's a duct command? Docs /duct. Running child processes and building pipelines. Cool. So it says, here's a command. And then it does a bunch of stuff. All right. So let's look at this. .troff-a-m man. Input, standard out, capture, read, unwrap, and returns a string. Oh, that's sick. All right, so this reads a rough file, returns ASCII, rough to ASCII. It parses the first raw file. It parses the second raw file. And it returns both. Interesting. That's actually really nice because it means you can just dump out a bunch of ROF and don't need to worry about white spacing as long as the result is exactly the same, which is what you want to be testing on. Like, am I outputting valid ROF? That's nice. Huh. All right. I'm pretty happy about this. Because this seems like just about everything we need, I think. Do I have this? Duct. Documentation. Dependencies, crates IO. Oh. Crates IO, and then there's repository. I hadn't seen this before. It's kind of cool. Let current branch command bang dot read dot unwrap. Oh, that's kind of nice. All right, so you can do let args and do a array sort of thing of stuff there. Oh my god, I'm learning stuff. Cool. Blog there. What does this module do? It's shell pipelines. There we go. So I just submit it using my little plug command to my knowledge repo. And now it should like show up here, so I can you know, keep a it's just my personal reference for like useful stuff I might like otherwise forget. For example, dialogger, I might like forget. I didn't know about this. Definitely never use this, but really useful. You know, as you go along, you learn more and more and more. It's been renamed to Twiggy. Anyway. Let's look. So this is actually really good. And I wonder if we can like PR in a README. Git fork, just to make sure that stuff goes on. Let's take a look at the way Killer Cup usually does his readmes. And then we can like add that. I think it's like useful enough work, and I'm tired anyway, so blub. Rust fix. There we go. This is the way he likes his command lines. Actually, let's look at a second one. Created 80 commits, created 3 repositories, replace RS. It's probably the right boilerplate. Alright. Add readme raw. Like that. Xclip dash out. Readme markdown. There you go. And copy, does that, and paste. Merge lines of files, damn it. Alright. So we're gonna call this rof rs. We're gonna add an installation one. Actually, we should add a few links. Or something. Replace RS with the ability to prevent changing the same part multiple times. Nah, we don't want that. So, what's this? Rough library, rough format. Let's link to the rough format. What is rough? What was rough? Go. God damn it. Rough concept and history of rough typesetting. Concepts and history of rough typesetting. That's where it is. Man pages online. There's always like this one that's a little bit nicer. Man7.org, I believe. And then we do rough. I like this one a bit better. Generation library. And then we write a quick example. Test demo. Let's do a quick little example. Like this. What the fuck is that one floating over there? That's the weirdest thing ever. Alright. Whoa. I just edited that and I didn't like it. Alright. So let's flip it. Let's do that. List and bolden into bold bits. Oh, hey. Hey there. Thank you. Alright. That's really fun. Also, hey, welcome Dan. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy and paste this for now. We need to go to demo trough. Trough. There we go. Be shown by the man1 command as. Get that other command in here. Man test demo. Okay. Xclip -n. There we go. Okay. Let's take this for a spin. All right, we need to get that semicolon in place and then we're good. Up and remove the indentation here. Extern create rough. use rough like that. That looks reasonable, I think. Let page is rough new corrupt 1. Section name corrupt modify files by randomly changing bits. Section synopsis bold corrupt into. Interesting. Oh, right. So that's where spacing. Actually, it's really interesting. Yep. So there we go. All right, and that's it. That's all we need. Wonderful. All right, I think this is good to good enough to submit. We can probably add some more like nicer labels there, which people probably won't mind. Build passing docs master license crits. People tend to like that. All right. Docs master license crits AO. All right. So let's be kind and copy over this version of here. There we go. Like that. Like there. Killer cup. This is called rough-rs. And there we have it. Build unknown docs license. Criteo. Oh, what? Interesting. So license shows up as. Does it have a license? License MIT, license other thing. I wonder what it comes from. Crates. Oh, it comes from Crates.io. Right. Wonderful. So it just needs to be published. And that's it. All right. Dope. Hey, Jesse. Welcome. Nice to see you again. Oh, wait. I can up the light a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. All right. Yeah, so we're just being a good citizen and adding a bit of this. Great. We should probably space that because people like that. And that's it. Oh, what did we change in the test? Oops, we shouldn't have changed that. So that's demo.rs. Nope. No. Add readme. Oh, like that. So we add this to our local fork. And then we try and open that. Oh, there we go. Readme, compare NPR. Adds readme to the project. Rendered. Now we can do this cool trick. that. Thanks. Can GitHub render off? Let's find out. I don't think it does. No, 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 no. There you go. Source. Tests. Definitely not. Oh, wait. Documentation. That seems like that's off. Oh. Yeah, we're missing a bunch of links. That's not good. Replace RS. The other one. Rust fix. No. No. Damn it. Yeah, Rust fix is the right one. There we go. Oh, there we go. Documentation. That's where it is. Rof RS. / amend. Now we need to get a new rendered link. Mappa asks, how old were you when I first was able to grow a beard like that? I'm 26 now. 21? 22? Maybe? I don't know. I had like varying beard growth from like 12 until like 20 or something. Just more and bushier. And now it's just a beard. Got a bunch of like South American Spanish genes. And my dad had like, he's Dutch. He also had like a beard. So, yeah. And I think of going to the JSCOM special meetup on the 31st. Oh, actually, no. But maybe I should go. There's like no reason not to. Meetup.com/JSCOM. Meetup Jazz Berlin. Hey. There we go. 31st meetups. Oh, I believe they're using my website for that thing, by the way. October 31st. I'm not seeing one here. Where is it? JSCOM special? Berlin JS. Oh, yeah, fuck it. I made that website. There we go. Why is it here? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, special comment here. Check this out. That one's blue. If you want to see the links that I made, they're black. So I can tell it was edited by not me. Damn it. We're on Twitter and on Meetup. We also have Slack. All right. I guess it's not like in the thing yet. So you kind of like RSVP. All right. Well, that's it. Wait, what's this? Where is that? Oh, yeah. Hey. Also, why is this like not top aligned? Why aren't these things aligned? I'm sad. I just want this. Also, so I was sitting in the audience at one of these events and people were like, yo, we need a new website and we don't have time for a new website. And I was like, well, I'll make you a new website. I forgot I did this. Oh yeah, repeat text shadow like lots. Like just keep on repeating it and like change the offset by like one more pixel and then you like get that fun effect. Like that's your highlight color changes. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, I think there were like 2 talks on, and I know I was just like, building a website sounds like I'll help people, and these talks I prefer to build a thing, so I built a thing. Um, like a year and a half ago, but I was like meant to replace a current BerlinJS website and like never did. berlinjs.com, berlinjs.org, right? Because people were like complaining about this. They were like, hey, BerlinJS is kind of nice, but it more or less needs to get a bit of an update. And I was like, sure. It didn't. So yep, that's story time right there. All right, back to Ralph. I'm gonna get myself some more water. Just a sec. Oh yeah. Also the other day, someone sent me like the nicest email. I still like have to reply, and it's so nice. I just, I don't know. I've been too like sick to come up with like a good reply. It's been like 2 days ago, but they were like, "Yo," I'm just reading it from my phone. They're like, "Yo, I checked. Thank you for building Chew. I checked it out a couple of years ago. So happy so far it's gotten. Blah 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 blah. They've been self-teaching themselves code for 3 years, which is really cool because they were like they dropped out of like math stuff and they were like doing backend. Then they landed their first contract for as a developer analyst for a small startup, working on building up my skill and filling in the big gap of front end land so I can land a full-time role." And there you go on, and it was like really nice. I also appreciate your overall attitude and non-stressful approach to code. I started following a lot of these Medium blogs that kind of aggravate a lot of these weird capitalist insecurities over not knowing the latest web skill, React, Vue, RxJS, blockchain, thingamabob. Actually, they say that. I like your no pressure, low magic, have fun with it approach to things. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you and I've been learning a ton, and that's been great for my mental health and feelings about code. So thank you. And was like, that's like the nicest. That's such a nice thing to say. It's by well, given that they're not doing it publicly. Maybe I should leave the name out, but I thought it was a really sweet thing to send because I like that. Just it kind of made my day. Like 2 days ago, I was like coughing up all sorts of shit and not feeling great. And then, like someone sent that, I was like, yeah, okay. Anyway, Parsit says, say something in Dutch lang. What do you want me to say? I get that reasonably often, but gotta be specific. What do you want me to say? Because the Dutch word for something is iets, and that's pretty short. And also very daddy. Yeah, literally that. Right. Let's get the new rendered version out, just so we double check. Docs master license invalid, criteria invalid. Oh, is it actually on there? No, it's not. Cool. All right. Rendered. Cool. There we go. Create pull request. Done. And now I can ping killer cop. Oh, by the way, just did this. Quick one. Quick PR with digging the works so far. I'm seeing any from there on a for example, okay. So you want me to say sup people who's going to a party tonight? Oh my god. So the thing about Dutch as a language, I think, is that everything sounds cute and dweeby. Like it's not a badass language. Like, you know, German can sound intimidating, but also like 90s weird. Like Scooter, you know, his accent is not cool. It's it's very cool, but you know, but Dutch doesn't quite have that. It's closer to like Swedish in that it doesn't sound intimidating, I think, as a sound, but just like weird English. So sup people who's going to the party tonight? Hey, oh god, I just feel awkward. So the party is usually feestje, feesten. Je gaat er vanavond uit. Ga je uit, ga je naar locatie, ga je ergens heen. Damn it. Usually you wouldn't say, I don't know, I don't think I would use the would you go to the party, but more like the specific party. If you would, like, back in Amsterdam, used to be this club called Trouw. You would ask, hey, wie gaat er naar Trouw vanavond? I don't know, like the party just translates to something a 12-year-old would say. Or partying. I don't know. It's a weird thing because no one says that, I feel. Or I can't think of like a good example without it sounding like rare. So yeah, wie gaat er naar Trouw vanavond? Is the best I can do. Or wie gaat er naar? You wouldn't even say like the club. Uit is usually the bigger one. Who's like going out tonight? Wie gaat er vanavond uit? Ga je uit vanavond? Along those lines. Hope that makes sense. In funky Dutch slang. Yeah, straight translations are definitely awkward. You can paraphrase it. Yeah, it's about that's about as close as it'll get. All right. Cool. This is as good as it gets. You're not familiar with semantics of that. Yeah, well, here's a brief intro. Pretty much for every rule in the Dutch, like there's a joke about it. Like every rule in the Dutch language has about as many exceptions as there's things that follow that rule. It's not great. Right. All right, I think this is as good as we'll get on this part. Maybe I should try some hypercore again. Let's see, we've been going for 45 minutes. Nice. All right. Yo, parse it. Which which languages do you speak? Yem. All right, so we're getting 4 errors here. Because expected struct RC, found struct vec. So from roots expects RC, but found vec. That's all right. Expected type RC RC. But got vec vec. Huh. Oh, can I repeat the question? Yeah, sure. Which languages do you speak? Just curious. I'm sitting on Spanish, Dutch, and English like fluently, and French if I'm joking around. Because I had like 8 years of French class, but we never really spoke it. We just did like exercises. So it's yeah. I haven't done it in like the last 5 6 years either. So I like German enough to get by, but not great. I'm actually trying to learn Japanese right now, which is quite fun. But yeah, that's about the extent of it. Note dot position note hash 2vec note len and standard RC. Following traits can only be used at trait to implement in scope and position. Perhaps you need to implement it. Oh, note dot position. So that's Merkle RS71 because we changed it from position to index. Bulgarian, English, and Russian. Oh, that's pretty cool. So I take it you're Bulgarian? Or like just a fun coincidence from living somewhere and having parents or other family from somewhere else. Let's take a look. Did we just reduce it to 3 errors? Probably not. Oh yeah, we did. Expected struct RC vec RC self stream roots. Oh yeah. Want to learn Chinese, but it's really hard. Yeah, damn it. I can't imagine. Like I've never tried Chinese because of the weird intonation thing, and I consume like zero Chinese media. So I was like, I don't have like any practical use for it, but it seems like super interesting. I think if you like speak Russian, Chinese, English, and Spanish, you can like get around pretty much everywhere or something like that. That's pretty cool. How you're learning it? I'm like, I'm trying to use the Duolingo app for the Japanese stuff. It's like surprisingly good. If you put in enough hours and you get through the first few weeks, I felt. So you're learning Chinese by reading papers. That's like really cool. Only using Google Translate. Shit. It's funny. I had this friend here in Berlin a while back. They moved back to the US, unfortunately. But they spoke Chinese fluently, and they had this really interesting thing because what they did was translate contemporary Chinese poetry to English. And one of like the saddest poems that they told me about was this factory worker, because a lot of like factory workers, they work like 16 or 18-hour days, and like conditions are super harsh. And like in Foxconn in the factory, they had to like put in anti-suicide nets so people would like not jump from like the inner parts like down and kill themselves. If they did, they would be caught and they could go back to work or something. I don't know. It's fucking brutal. But yay, Apple for using Foxconn and like all the other US corporations. But I digress. There was this story, this poem, and it was this guy. It was like, maybe someday I'll become a rock. Maybe someday I'll become a grass. Maybe someday I'll become a fish. But the thing I'll never be is human. That's just, I don't know. kind of like stuck with me. It's been like a year since they moved, but I'm like, fuck. And self-stream.roots. Let's take a look here. All right. Anyway, that's it for poetry. Merkel 61 and self-stream.roots. Cargo check. Expected struct RC. Found struct vec of RC. Damn it. So what we're expecting here from roots is unstandard RC. Okay, maybe our thing's fucked up here. Yeah, maybe it's just fucked up. Yeah. So self.nodes. What's self.nodes like? What's our nodes type like? Nodes is a vec RC node. Alright. Self.nodes. Let's try this. Mismatch types. Cargo check. So what's our mismatch now? Self-stream roots. Oh my god. It's actually alright. 4 node in roots. Iterator. Bizarre. Wow, that's so much fun. I think I might be getting an ear infection, by the way, in case you're like wondering why I'm like puzzling with my ear. Because every time I take out like my earbud, it hurts. Because I think the whole thing's like blocked up or something. It's just painful. And yeah, it's not great. It's only painful because of the pressure difference, which means not good. I have to fly in 5 days, 4 days. Not excited for that at all. So I need to figure out a way to get better. So definitely need to hit like the gym today and like go for a run and like all this other stuff, so I can like clear it out and stop feeling horrible. All right. Let's take a look. Expected that thing into iterator, so we can't iterate over a node in roots. Crypto hash. So hash / node in roots 78. For node in roots. From roots. From roots is fucking up there. Standard vec. Standard RC. It's RC vec U8. Ah. But it's not, because we changed it. Node, where node is storage. Use self storage node. Use self use self Merkle stream node trait. Let's just try that. Should try something like the Audio Technica yada 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 yada. Huh. I don't know what that is. Let's take a look. What are those? Images. Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like big earphones because they sit over your head and they, you know, I'm losing hair already and like I just feel uncomfortable with it. That looks really nice. I know. I'm not too into the, although they also look really comfortable. I don't know. I prefer tiny plugs because you can like bring them around everywhere. But I feel like, you know, I bet the sound's amazing from them. All right. Back to this. Yeah. All right. Storage node. Node is no trait. Cargo check. Just playing. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Let's try and fix out this little issue here. Yeah, I swear, like baldness sucks. But we all get older. At least, you know, losing a bit of hair is an aesthetic thing. I've got a beard too, you know. Some people don't have a beard and have plenty of hair. I don't know. People are different. But then getting ill is way worse. Imagine like having a broken leg or needing to like miss a limb or having fucked up lungs or, you know, 1 in 3 people gets cancer. Yay. I don't know. I just feel like I'm complaining about like a not so terrible thing. Like, oh, hey, I'm getting older faster than other people are like showing getting older. But healthier than some others. Like, whatever. So yeah, can't really complain about it. Still sucks, but blah. Yeah. Alright. So that's okay. That's okay. We just fucked up something new. I don't know where. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the new one? Lib. Crypto hash. Crypto Merkle. Oh, what? Did it just say crypto hash? Oh, there we go. For node and nodes. And standard RC vec storage node is not iterate. Maybe try calling iter or a similar method. All right. / roots. There we go. Let's try this. It exists. Cargo check. 4 errors. Crypto hash. Node.position. Does not exist. 83. Node.position. It's node.index. Cargo check. 3 errors. Source lib. Source crypto Merkle. Self-stream.roots. Oh shit. Nice. Okay, so we solved 1 error. Which means we can close this. Up. Alright. Self crypto Merkle rs61. Source lib rs137. Alright. I think we should fix the Merkle one first. It says expected struct rc found struct vec. Cool. So self-stream roots, found type, standard RC storage node. Okay, so we're putting an RC around the node, whereas we should be putting an RC around the vec. But then Merkle rs61 is expecting a vec of U8, which doesn't seem right. So Merkle rs61 self-stream roots. Okay. By the way, we can delete this code because we no longer need to cast it. It's great. So self-stream roots. So roots Fuck, did I mess up that thing? All right. Slash Merkle tree stream. Let's take a look here. Lib and self.roots. And self.roots is vec of usize or something. I hope it's making sense. By the way, if people have like any Rust questions or like are wondering what I'm doing, even just like shoot. Always happy to answer like anything. Also because I just got started with Rust, like I don't know, one and a half months ago, 2-ish months ago, like a bit more seriously. It's vec rc of n function roots. Oh, we're talking self.merkle there. Self.node, self.stream.roots. So where's the stream coming from? Stream, Merkle tree stream s node. Roots. Oh, Dan Reeves is asking, it's been a couple months now. Are you still loving it? And the answer is hell yeah. It's so good. Like the thing I'm getting with Rust is the thing I initially had with JavaScript. Which oh, quick answer by the way, Dave. Any functional programming done before Rust? I think it's important to note that Rust is an imperative programming language. It's not functional. You can do some functional things, like JavaScript can do some functional things. Meaning functional is the stuff like .collect, .iter, you know. But it's not functional the way Haskell describes itself as functional. You can more or less take this argument and get all the way through and be like, what is functional programming even? And it gets a bit blurry, but you write it very much as like object-oriented, class-based style, kind of like C++, kind of like JavaScript, I guess, depending on which direction you take it. But it's a similar idea. But yeah. I'm feeling like they're you know, when you first start with a language, any language, doesn't matter what skill level, you'll probably find out that you can like dive in deeper. There's a breadth of stuff to explore. For example, with JavaScript, you suddenly have access to a browser. And you're like, oh wow, I can do all this browser stuff. If you've never done backend programming before, you're like, oh wow, I'm running Node. I can access all these like file system stuff, and you can start reasoning about these things. How do you build an HTTP server? And then you think of all the steps of building an HTTP server using like a HTTP thing. If you want to write a faster one, or if you just want to access TCP, you get that, right? So there's a whole set of stuff to explore, and you get that. And then, you know, as you get more comfortable with the language, you will have explored more stuff there. And then eventually you will have probably explored most of it. And that was the stage I hit, like 4 years in of doing Node and JavaScript. I was like, cool, I've seen everything that there is to see, and there's like new stuff coming down. But I was getting less and less excited about it because the rate of new innovations was very little. Like TC39 brings out a lot of sugary stuff, you know. Like, here's a new syntax for chaining operators together, and we call it the pipeline method or something like that, right? And, you know, it wasn't like overwhelmingly new, I felt. I was getting less excited. So with Rust, I'm getting this like all over again, where I'm like, holy shit, everything is new, and I need to think about memory allocation, and oh wow, everything's typed, so I need to think about the way that I put types together and the way we can get behavior from one module into the other module and like make the thing generic, and how do generics work, and how do allocations work. For example, SIMD, single input multi-data assembly commands recently were prepped for stable. So they're gonna be unstable in like the next release or the one after, which means we'll have a whole world of other stuff to explore. Like just today, I was like tweeting at someone at Killer Cup also again, by the way. I don't know, just been interacting with him a bunch today. But tweets and replies, it's so good. Yada 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 yada. There we go. Like this, I might have been on Hacker News, might have been somewhere else, but this is someone's done a whole bunch of benchmarking on trying to get parsing UTF-8 strings as fast as possible. We're validating that it's actually UTF-8, right? Because before you parse it, you need to validate it, or you try and do both, but it's probably not optimal. So it's better to like first parse it, first validate it, then parse it. I think probably more or less. I'm not sure, but the gist of it is there's like this SIMD algorithm for doing that, and I was like, holy shit! I never thought about like using SIMD algorithms, and it's so cool. Because now you can reason about this. Like, cool, how do you do like this parallel data structure at the very 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 low level? Like this is about as low as anyone like reasonably goes. Hand cranking like assembly instructions out for specific processors. No one, unless you're building a CPU or GPU, it's not going to be great. So, oh man, people have been chatting. That's great. Yeah, true, maybe. I don't know. So I don't know. I can't really comment on this. I feel like it's a very philosophical question, right? Like, what is a functional programming language? And I feel most of what people then describe is something along the lines of it's like math, and like, well, is it really? And mathematicians, I believe, don't really like Haskell because it doesn't do the thing. It's not pure. And I don't know. It kind of goes back and forth, but the way I like to think about it is like if you can map and reduce and do all that sort of stuff, those are the functional methods, and they don't have side effects. They just produce a new data type. So like, you can create like some formula and be like, this is more or less the way it operates. And I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. I feel like if you have experience with JavaScript using the map and reduce and the filter and all those other methods, then that knowledge translates pretty well back into Rust. So oh, and the option types and stuff. That's really cool. Also, yeah, I have tried Haskell. I did a little bit of it, like quarter of the Haskell book or something like that over a 2-3 day span. Can't be known what Java optional is. Oh my god, that sounds terrible. Oh, yep, not great. Yeah, the Rust result types are really fun. I like them with the option and the sum and the none. I recently found out the any type, any Rust, which allows you to do some like super cool hacks. It might actually be really useful, by the way. So you can, is there an anything somewhere? Did your get is string any? Yeah, here we go. So you can just get anything in, and then you put it there. Type of a D string. You can just like quickly match it. I don't know, I thought it was really interesting. I feel like you could build an event animator with this. Probably. Most likely. But I'm not sure. Oh, Sephiroth asked, how do you get so familiar so fast with internals of that? So many non-trivial stuff like Merkle. Yeah, so Matthias is a pal. We like hang out reasonably often. I used to get paid to work on that. Like help build that desktop app like 2 years ago now ish. 11, what's the last commit been? Yeah, there we go, 2 years ago. So I helped build this thing, which should work like reasonably well, but yeah, like it allowed me to get more familiar with all this stuff. Let's see, 14 contributors. I should have like third most commits or something. Yeah, there we go. I didn't start the project, I just worked on it for like that span. Help JS functions help in understanding Rust functions. Yeah, maybe. I feel like there's like a whole section of like translating JavaScript to Rust, which could be done. Like okay, definitely yes. Will I do it? No. Dependency blocks beneath the. Oh no, it's a plugin I have. Wait, hold on. Dan Reeves asked for a thing. Here's a thing. It's a dependencies. I think it's like Octotree or something. Add-ons, extensions. Here we go. Octo linker. You might want to check it out. I'll link it. Yes, where's the? Oh, here. It's pretty fun. There should be one for Rust also, but I never installed it. I should be using it. Then there's the npm other thing, and oh, maybe it's this one, by the way. There we go. npm hub. That's actually the one. I kind of use both. I like them. Anyway, I hope that answers your question, Sephiroth. I just, I hang out in IRC and ask questions whenever I need to. And people are really generous, so helps. Pyom, 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 pyom. Skip. I'm alright for now. I've been chatting a lot. I should probably go for some lunch in like half an hour-ish, I think. Probably hit the gym, steam bath, something like that. Yeah, I'm like getting really hungry. I kind of want to get this thing to compile though, because that would be like really good. Oh, also the other thing, by the way, Sephiroth, is the that JavaScript implementation is quite readable. So getting good with the internals is just reading it helps a lot. You read it, you try and re-implement it, you try and copy the logic, you copy over the tests, and then you start making sense of it. Like a big tricky thing is whoa, like for example, this file was like, what the fuck? Check out the amount of magic numbers in this thing, right? Like 256 float 32 minus the u size as float 32, and then we like sealing it and do all sorts of stuff. Like here's some like 0x0f just hanging out. Here's like, this sequence vec 128 192 224 240. It's I don't know. I didn't know what it was, and now I do. More or less, sort of. But, just looking at this is kind of intimidating. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, of course we're gonna like bit shifted to the left by 4 bits over 15, right? Not 16. No, 15. And then we mask it with the I with that, and then we bit shift that to the right over 4 again. Like, what are we doing there? I don't know. Like here, yeah, we're just wrapping it around over 15 and something like, no, it's masking. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's fun. You do end up learning a lot in the process, which is good. Yeah, like the. Yeah. So I think that's an important thing in like code to be like, in case you later at a later point you come back to it, or someone else is like, cool, I'm going to build a reference implementation in the Elixir, which is happening now, by the way. And you know, people will be like, what the fuck is going on here? If someone just adds, I do not know, I have no idea, I should come back to this, document it, like revisit it, because I just copied stuff, then, you know, people will be like, oh, all right, maybe we should double check this part of code. Also for yourself, like later on. Brianna says, this is me and all my code. Fuck. But like from talking to Matthias, a lot of this code here, by the way, is to count ones and zeros, and that's about it. And there's built-in methods in Rust for that, but I didn't want to risk getting the stuff wrong because I wasn't sure what it does. So I'm going to build a working implementation with that code first and then refactor it, because that's a safer thing to do. I believe either one works. We were having a chat about that earlier. Yeah. Good luck. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, when people hear that I'm like working on a Dat Rust implementation, everyone's like, "Oh my god, so that's progressing so fast, and you're like doing so well." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." I don't know. I feel like people are like more hyped about it than I'm like sure that I'll be able to pull this off. But we're heading in a direction so far, and things seem to be working so far. So should be good so far, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be chill about it. Helps that Rust just checks so much stuff. Otherwise, it would be like so incredibly hard to like get any of this done. There's some like hard parts, but then, you know, imagine like needing to manually figure this thing out, because you'd be like console.logging everywhere. If this was JavaScript, right? Or if this was C++ and for some reason the compiler wouldn't catch it or whatever, I don't know if it does. I just imagine that not being a great experience, basically. Fuck. My ear legit hurts now. Nah, it's not great. Vex storage node. Found type self Merkle roots self storage node found you 8 hash from roots. So self Merkle roots should probably return all the roots, right? What do we say? Yeah. Which in turn gets self.stream.roots, where stream is Merkle tree stream. Self stream roots Merkle 61. For root and roots, full roots. Self.merkle.roots, let hash from roots append. All right. Flat full roots verified by. Oh, this is interesting. All right. So to explain my thought, I think what's going on there is that our self.roots is a vec rcn. No, this should already work. Why isn't it working? And self.roots vec rcn. So self.stream.roots. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, that says I did a little C++ for cool. I should close these two, by the way. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't sound great. I believe there should be like a strict mode compiler. It's not hidden away somewhere. But blah. Oh, there's our problem. Hey. Why didn't anyone catch that? All right. So we expect to type rc standard vec storage node, but we got vec rc standard rc. Oh damn it! So the rc is wrapped around the node. Okay, that works for me. Like that. Is it borrowed? I bet it's borrowed. Yeah, there we go. Due to two previous errors. Okay, so hash from roots gets the other way around. Hash from roots gets it's a vec of RC node, not an RC of vec node, which makes sense because we're having nodes possibly in two of the same places, and we want to have a read-only access to both of them. And then the vector is just a vector over that thing, which is all right, which is perfectly fine. So we can iterate over it, which means we can remove the dot iter call probably, most likely. That, and then we do that there. Cargo check one compiler. Dope. All right. Iter. Let's see if this works. Cargo check. Yay, that works. Okay, great. And now we have expected struct standard rcrc found storage node. Okay. Because our things flipped around again. So crypto hash from roots. Crypto hash slash from roots is again oh fuck, what? All right, so we're expecting a thing of that. We found a type of that. Okay, so let's do this. Rust RC or no RC. Let's try and so what we're having right now is we want to make RC optional, I think, because sometimes it's RC, sometimes it's not. Rust make RC optional. Rust as ref RC. Interesting. What does this do? Hey, welcome Paula Bean. Nice of you to join us. All right. Files changed. Je ne sais. self inner for RC. Here's what I wonder. So if we do as ref for T for RC there. Oh, Sepiro says, I read the Smart Pointer chapter this morning. Yeah, maybe you can help me out. Like, by the way, that's a really good chapter. I didn't read enough. So that's why I might be like fucking up. But I very much think that we might be able to look at this and work it out. So rust up doc help rust up doc dash standard. All right, so we have RC there we go. As ref, great. So 1.5.0. We're looking at a PR that added 1.2.0, but was added in 1.5.0. Feature smart pointer as ref. Sick. All right, so implement sized. Oh, I wonder what that does. I don't know. As ref T for RC. As ref borrows. Oh, so it's a pointer, unpointer, pointer, and then do that thing again. All right. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like weird stuff there. All right, so cargo check. Also, how'd you like the chapter Sephiroth? Did it all make sense? Did you read the other chapters for this? I did most of the chapters like on a plane somewhere, and then I just did a bunch of exercises until I was like, I think I'm comfortable enough to like start writing like a careful module or two. It worked out. All right, so as ref for RC. There's no more as ref stuff. Rust as ref smart pointer. Maybe that's our golden ticket. No. Currently, the support to use smart pointers in generic code is very limited because do not forward to traits implemented by our content. Blup. Use dref. Right, yeah, that's reasonable. Asref. Maybe we need to use borrow? I don't know. Cyril says, was easy to read. Now I need to practice to read test my understanding. Yeah, that's pretty good. I feel that's the case with like most of the things. Do you have like any ideas how you want to test it? So Paula Bean asks, what does a trait mean in Rust? Depending on your experience with like programming languages, you can more or less think of a trait as an interface. A trait means here is a set of functions that you must implement. And then if someone says, cool, I'm implementing this trait, then you can, for example, create a generic function. So a function that accepts different types. And you can ensure that they all implement that trait. So then all you need to do is if the only thing you do is call the methods on that trait, then it's completely safe. What Swift calls a protocol. Yep, possibly. I'm not familiar with Swift at all, but it sounds like a similar sounding word, so could very well be actually. Swift protocol. Protocols. Blueprints of methods. Structured definition goes here. Yeah, it sounds similar. It's like methods on a class, like interfaces you can like move around. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Not sized. Gotcha. Okay, that's really cool. I guess does not have to implement means it's optional, right? So it's optionally sized. So unenforced. But not, yeah. Great. That's cool. Yep. Basically. But the cool thing about traits is also you can provide default implementations and derive them. No, that's a macro. I don't know. There's some like fun stuff there. Yeah, sorry about the lag. It's I know it's not great, but I believe like between encoding, like streaming it back up to Twitch, and then them like processing it and like streaming it back down again takes a while. Yeah. Implement the ref as ref. No, I want to try the as ref one. Where is as ref? So not an os ref, but as. Oh, that's a terrible joke. I'm not even gonna go there. Just trying to fill up with words as I figure out where to find this. As ref. All right. Cheap reference to the conversion. T as ref string T. Huh. Oh, sick. Okay. I think we can try this one thing out. Cargo check. So this is messing up at lib137 because roots from roots. Here. Okay. All right. So let's first try if this works out all right. So T as ref string where T as ref from roots. There we go. No highlight. So string, but in this case we say vec node. Oh, maybe that needs to be the thing. RC node and vec. As ref node, and then we can do T like that. Cargo check. Oh, fuck. Okay, so that might work. Node as node try. Fuck. Hash. So this seems like there might be some trouble here. Oh, cool. So Jesse, you know like Paula, by any chance? No method named index for NT. Note the index. Oh fuck, what's the type of that thing? Items from traits can only be used if trait is implemented in scope. The following traits define item index, but perhaps you need to implement one of them. NT. Oh, because it's now generic, it no longer works or something? So T as ref plus node traits, maybe? Cargo check. The trait Merkle tree standard RC storage node. Fuck. Oh, cool. Oh shit, I didn't know you like streamed. Huh. Yeah, I should like follow you. Paula Bean is asking Merkle stream, are you making something blockchain related? No, actually. So funny you ask. I'm where more or less blockchain is on a spectrum of technologies that try and like propagate like a scarce resource. In this case, like, you know, everyone works as hard as they can to like find a hash, and the person that finds that hash gets all the credits, all the jelly beans, and then, you know, people try and find like another hash again. And the point of it is that you have a consistent like view of the world. So that, and, you know, you try and get everyone to participate to get like one single consistent view of the world. The thing I'm working on is closer to like BitTorrent, where instead of like everyone sort of more or less working adversarially and like forming groups to like get this thing, everyone gets it. Like the point of the thing is, you want a piece of data, here's like a network of people sharing that data, you can get that piece of data, which in many cases is really useful. Global consensus shit. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's a very different model. It's a good question though. Like I can definitely see where you're coming from, but the thing is, we're not quite doing that. No, try. Let's see if this works. So nodes not right. Node plus node trait. What happens if we do this? What's this thing? Trait type num type operators len. What is empty? Oh. All right. Okay. No, that's a different thing. All right. Yeah. How's ref? Borrow. Yeah. Basically, what we're building is a different version of how do you call that? BitTorrent, like the BitTorrent protocol, but because the BitTorrent protocol is like really good at moving like big pieces of data around, but it doesn't allow, you know, like upgrades. So updates of the data set. This is a version that is very similar, but it allows you to append new files, new pieces of data, generally speaking, to the thing. As in itself, like BitTorrent, it's, you know, has a fun few trade-offs. Like it's not private by default, but it's really good at moving data around, and this just adds like about the same trade-offs, but adds some other stuff to it. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry, I'm like raking my brain. I'm having trouble figuring out what is going on. Standard RCRC. Unused import stuff. Yeah, so the thing I was hoping we could do is actually have this be node like that, but then it says storage Merkle tree node. Does not have it. Where's the static from asref node plus static coming from? I don't know. I actually do not know where that comes from. I believe static means not on the heap, so it's more or less implied, I think. Yeah, I don't think it's a thing. No method named len found for type ampersand t. Fuck, I think the thing doesn't understand. Alright, so Rust generics asref trait. Yeah, that is also true. That's very true. So yeah, I don't know. Performs the conversion. So I guess asref, what it does is borrow, no borrow. And we can't make it, you know, either be in RC or not be in RC. Actually, let's take a look at the borrow trait. So the borrow trait Rust is, what's the goal of this? Common practice representation of type, different. Generic wrappers can be used any type, string which adds, for instance, types express can be borrowed as some type t by implementing borrow t. Yeah. No, I think borrow might be our ticket because they describe the problem in the first paragraph. Hold on. Oh, fuck. My ear is not doing great. For real. Ugh. I need to go to pharmacy later and figure out how to solve this. Because if it gets worse, it'll take me a week to get rid of it. Which is more fucked up than it's more time than I have before my next flight. So I need to solve it. Yeah. Alright. Box C can be borrowed as T, while a string can be borrowed as string. So edge hasher, hash edge hasher. Borrow, check T, borrow string ST, hello S dot borrow, hello string, check S. Oh, sick. Alright. So we need to borrow trait. T. There we go. Borrow node. Use standard borrow. Jesse Skinner asks, allergies? No. I wish. No allergies. It's just, actually I don't wish I had allergies. This is like a one-off, but allergy people, they struggle like 2 out of 4 seasons. No, I just got like, I went flying with like a cold, and then if the cold goes into your ear, you can get ear infection. And that's basically more or less what happened, which is still better than like a ruptured eardrum, which would have been the alternative, possibly, because I couldn't figure it out and it was like super blocked, but just really sucks. Oh, Dan Reeves says, I'm heading to Berlin for JSConf. Any recommendations for my day off? I don't know. come hang out. I'd be like happy to hang out if you want to. Otherwise, so heads up, food in Berlin is not great. There's some good places, but overall, it's like German food, and German food's not amazing. Asian food's okay, more or less. It's not like Australia or I've heard Canada is amazing, so it's might be worth it. Check out the I don't know if you want to do some more touristy stuff. Like it's interesting to have seen the wall. It's interesting to walk through like Kreuzberg. Oh, Turkish food's pretty good. Get yourself a kofta. No, I'm so about the kebabs. If you eat meat, get a kofta. If you don't, what else? The halloumi rolls are great. Jesse Skinner says Italian here is good. Wait, you live in Berlin? Huh. I don't know. Falafel. Yeah, falafel is good. I don't know. I don't like falafel that much, but other people do. So, lentil soups, if you can. Like, there's a whole bunch of that's more or less the good food that like Turkish community gets. They just have like a bunch of soup places, and like all tourists are like, I want a kebab, and then you get a kebab. But the tourists are amazing. Yeah, sick. Wait. Strawberry. Oh, cool. That's cool. That all sounds incredibly healthy. Kebabs are not healthy. It's like blah, sauces. So Mark's lap on Mark's Engels farm. Oh, cool. I don't know. So the main thing that I do in Berlin is I hang out at home, and sometimes I go to a cinema, and I go to the gym, and I hang out with friends. So it's pretty like homely. So whenever people ask me like, what should I do in Berlin, I'm like, oh, I don't know, walk around, I guess. Like if you're into clubbing, it's supposedly amazing, right? But I'm like really not into that. And all my like Aussie friends are like, what? And they're big into like music. I'm just like, no, I'm just hanging out. Yeah, that's also like a good one. Going for like a beer at a local brewery if you like beers. There's a bunch of organic wine shops if you want to like get yourself a good wine. Bunch of thrift shops and if you're like into fashion. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah. The whole if you go a bit further north around like the tower thing, um then checking out like the churches around there, just there might be some interesting stuff going on. We have some like good art galleries if you like art. All sorts of types, so more or less what you're like into. Lucky ask how did I end up moving there. I've got a Dutch passport, so I just felt like moving here and then I like moved. So that wasn't like too hard. Anti in the current scope. Locals are the worst tourists. Yeah, so true. Yeah, to be fair, like first time I was here, I like did a whole bunch of touristy stuff. So I'm kind of glad I'm like no longer doing that. Also, I don't know. I got it out of my system like years and years ago. I don't know what is failing here. If anyone has any ideas, please shout. The following traits to find an item index. Perhaps you need to implement one of these, but it's fucking implemented. From roots. So borrow node, right? Type node. There we go. What if we change it to node? Oracle stream node. as node thing, use storage node, and use storage node as node struct. All right. And then node struct. Probably doesn't work, does it? Node struct. Okay, so I think we can do that, and then we can do that, and let's see if this works. Still doesn't work. All right, and then we can do plus node. Can't find trait node struct in this scope. Use storage node to other node. Oh, here we go. All right. I have no idea. If it's all matching this based on name, I'd be super disappointed. So it legit won't let me won't let us do this thing. Right, check s borrows string assert as stuff and borrowed borrows all right, so Rust borrow trait traits. Oh fuck. Okay, I guess the answer is you can't do that. You can only expose like not stuff like that or something. All right, fine, whatever. Okay, ditching this. So I'm more or less just giving up on getting this stuff right. So I just tried like all the reasonable approaches. Asref, and then we undo the Asref stuff. Roots and vec. Yay, and now it should fail but differently. At least no longer in this file. Alright. So it finds it hash and from roots let checksum. Lib 137 let checksum crypto hash from roots and roots let self.roots index. Alright. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Self.roots. Crypto hash from roots. Okay, crypto verify publicly. Checksum is byte signatures. Slash fun roots. Result vec node. Okay, roots. Yeah. Get node root push. All right, yeah. Because we're actually creating them from disk. So 137. Let's actually see if this works. Let roots equals roots dot map rc new. Can't find rc. No method map. Fold. Rust map into iter.map into iter.map. Oh, there we go. Use standard rc 139. Let checksum expected try. Look collect. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good lunch too. Ariana's asking, should roots return RC node instead of just node? I don't think so. And the reason why I'm not thinking that should be the case is because RC is an indirection that we should not enforce just because it exists. There's no reason for the dot roots method to enforce RC. It's just like extra noise. So right, and it does employ like a bunch of extra code like being created and more. It's more indirection. So I think I'd like to stick to map RC new for now. If possible. Probably not. Does this work? Self-storage get node. Oh, it looks like that works-ish. All right, cool. Cannot borrow field self-storage. Roots and mut self. Possibly. 137. Paula Bean says that map I function looks a bit like Ruby. Yep. That's entirely correct. There's a whole bunch of Rubyists in Rustland these days. And I think they influence the language a lot. But in all fairness, I quite like the specific closure syntax. This syntax for closures. I feel, you know, it makes sense. And there's like less to be confused than like other languages, I think. Also probably because they don't have like ternary statements and the foo, bang bang, or what do you call it, pipe or type of statements, it frees it up to like get some more of this stuff in, which is quite nice. Also, hey Nar, welcome. Let mut roots. All right, 151. Oh, let mut roots. There we go. Cargo check. Whoa, hey. Closure, I think that's the future. That's funny. Yo, what is that? Hey, anyway, we're compiling. Which I'm super excited about. Print line, do we have any print statements? No, we don't. You're streaming from the office. Cool. So am I. Sorry. Another thing all modern languages steal from each other: async await. Yes, that's so true. Although, from my experience, I don't know how it works out in Python. By the way, I also don't know how it works out. What's the other language that has it? There's one more. I believe C++ added it or something. But I'm not a big fan of oh yeah, C sharp. That's the one. Yeah, so I've never done it in C sharp either. But like the biggest comparison I've got is JavaScript, and JavaScript does not have a error handling primitive, right? Like all the error, there's the error type, but you never do type matching because they don't have like enums or something like that. So you always end up being like with a bunch of try catches to like get the thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like in Rust, the error handling story will like end up being so nice. Hey, check this out. Tape, temp, foop, rs. So we'll be able to do like, hopefully, right? Async fun bar. I32 or something. Right, and then that's actually results I32 comma box error or something. That's our signature. Either we return I32 or whatever, U32. Usize? Usize, why not? So, you know, this returns either a result, which is a number, or an error, right? And this is vaporware syntax. They still have to decide about it. But what I'm hoping they'll go for is call foob like that. Let res equals what do I call it? Something like that. Res times res or something. I think the way this will turn out is quite nice. If you can do like, hey, we're gonna get this thing, await it, and it returns a result, and then once it's done, hey, Flusher, we return. We just can continue like nicely, and because it has the async notation here, we're able to use await inside of it, because this is more or less, it implies that it will become this. Like this part is already like done, so you don't like need to say, hey, we're going to return a task or something. That's implied by the async keyword, or in this case, the async notation, because the current version is and then you're able to do so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good advice. At least that's more or less the road that I've taken. Like this is good advice, I think, if you want to get a job or want to concretely get start building like projects, because then you move to a stage where you're like focusing on building the project, and it becomes more of a tool for that. Whereas I think if you like want to create like a super deep understanding of things, especially if it's maybe your first language, I don't know, then this might help you like dig a bit deeper, like right from the start. Whereas this gears you more towards like, hey, project thinking kind of thing. Oh, cool. So Flusher says, hello, I'm starting programming school in October. I'm absolutely hooked on programming, but the issue is that I don't know anything I really want to learn. It's really frustrating. It's like an itch you can't scratch. Do you have any tips? Just write a bunch of stuff. Like find things you more or less want to be working on, and like go all the way deep into it. Like it doesn't matter if you don't reach the end goal, which is building the project. I think if you like try and make sure that every single step along the way you fully understand, which is, for example, why learning a framework is great advice if you're thinking of job oriented stuff, like project oriented, like, hey, I want to have a customer or find a job and successfully deliver a thing, or hey, I want to put a website online, right? Then focus on ways to make sure to get there. Actually, this is also really good advice. Just try this thing. I like it. Good advice, Paula. Like some of those stuffs, they can probably help. I feel in the end, it's also important to realize that you will be learning differently than other people, and that trying to find the fun in things is very valuable. Because if, for example, completely different topic, right? Like very specialized form of programming, the machine learning, the AI sector, right? Getting into that, I don't like it. I've tried. I like the theory of the things. I like the outcome of the things. But then, for example, learning TensorFlow fucking sucks. Like you end up messing around with higher level frameworks that people built that take JSON configuration in and take, you know, your an overnight cycle of your CPU, like spinning at 100% to figure out if you got the settings right. It sucks. Like I had a friend over, and he for an assignment he had to like do something like that. He was like getting arcade machines to like play themselves or something like that. And like the whole like it just looked like such a frustrating experience. And there's a lot of things out there that have a similar experience where, you know, they more or less, they're like, no, this is the best solution, and they more or less drain a bit of joy out of it, and everyone talks about it. And I don't know, it just saying out there that, hey, if you're not enjoying something, or if you find something frustrating or unclear, it's good to know that it might actually be the thing. It might not be you. It might be the tools you're using that are actually frustrating and unclear, even though everyone uses them. You'll probably spot, or I'm not going to call things out. Actually, I can call it Webpack. Webpack's a big one. I know some people that work on it, but it's like big enough that, you know, everyone complains about how it's tricky to use. They have trouble with the configuration. They have trouble with like some of those other things. And, you know, then people are rightfully in being like, well, maybe the tool's just complicated. I think that's a very fair criticism of it. And there's more stuff out there that resembles the same things. So just remember that if you run into a wall, sometimes it's not you, sometimes it's the wall. Sorry, I kind of like went in there like, yeah, I'm gonna give advice. So I know. that's my small take on a part of things. But definitely follow Paula's advice and try this stuff out if you want to, like, if you're like starting really if you're very new to it. I think that's a good one. All right. So this whole thing compiles. We're trying to commit this. Yes. That's my short answer there is a resounding yes. I do not enjoy using it. Like, I've tried in the past and it was just overwhelming and confusing, so I never went deep. But then I had a friend, like, he basically taught me JavaScript. He's been a friend for like years and years and years and years, and he had to go deep. And he and I share a lot of like the same ideas about programming. And he was like, yo, Yosh, no. Like, I was like, really? I suspected as much. And he was like, yeah, no, it's literally, because what ends up happening, with a lot of like the big corporate things. Like if Google builds a tool, Google will be building a tool to solve Google's problems. Makes sense, right? So what ends up being the case is they will have the engineering staff that built the tool, they will have them on call. They'll just be around. If you want to ask questions and get a result out, there will be a team around it. So there's lots of human interaction, a lot of things like, just works. And then there's other people that already have like knowledge of the field and they can like make more sense of the tool. But if you're an absolute beginner and you look at it, you're like, just think about like what TensorFlow does, right? It's basically NumPy or SciPy, maybe both. I don't know Python, but made for distributed, right? It's so you can run these things on like massively parallel hardware. They probably needed a stable API, so they could start developing hardware under it, right? The TPUs, I believe they exposed the TensorFlow API, or it was built so it like would work really well with the two things. And then they put like 10 of those TPUs or whatever in a rack, and then they have like a whole bunch of racks, and everything needs to be distributed. You need to be able to parallelize it, and that's a problem TensorFlow solved for them, right? They need to be able to do that, so they built this thing, and now it does that, and great, it's a great solution for Google. But it's not optimized for beginners. Like, you don't know what you should do. So instead, Google's answer to optimizing it for beginners is to be like, well, just use Google Cloud. Here's free credits and we'll solve machine learning for you, so you don't need to figure out how to set this thing up. The same is true for Kubernetes. Setting Kubernetes up fucking sucks. Like, for all sorts of reasons. I'm not saying Kubernetes sucks. I'm just saying the setup isn't great. So they offer in their cloud solution, like, here's a hosted version of Kubernetes. We use the thing. You can use the thing. You don't need to set it up. And it's rather appealing. But does that then mean that you understand the depth? You can go in depth into machine learning with that tool? Probably not. But you can more or less explore the breadth of it without needing to figure stuff out. Same like with Kubernetes. It means you don't need to figure out how Linux works, because you can just get yourself a MySQL image or something and like just drop it in there, and now it works. Yeah. Hell on Earth says TensorFlow is really a black box, and it does machine learning using it is not really like machine learning at all. The machine learning codes them for you. Yeah, pretty much. Like for me, that's again like a good example of like productivity versus like understanding. If you want to get some stuff done, it's great, right? You pump money into it and like results come out, and that's how it works. But if you hit limitations, if you want to like learn more about the intrinsics of it, of like how the thing works, maybe you're forced to. Like GDPR is gonna like put some interesting like notions there of like, cool, how here you have a bunch of code, you don't know how it works, but you do need to be able to explain how it works. So can you then use it? The answer is probably no. Like, it seems like it, So yeah. So the true. I believe a bunch of like the cloud machine learning things, cloud ML, whatever they call it, already gives you pre-trained functions. So it's like, well, here's a magic thing that can annotate images, right? And you just use that. That's great, but I don't know. It's a great tool, but not necessarily ideal if you want to learn how things work, I think. Ren says, I hate when reCAPTCHA makes me train Google self-driving cars. Oh, didn't you hear? Didn't you hear? It's no longer just training self-driving cars. Google now has a contract with the Pentagon to train their drones. So yeah, reCAPTCHA's powering drones now. What kind of drones? The cute ones? No, like the bomb lobbing drones. The ones they sent to Syria and stuff, I believe. Blep. BrainJS for a simple ML tool. That's cool. Yeah, I kind kind of want to learn a bit more about like the algorithms, but you know, it's good to not have a task you need to apply it for. So I can just figure out like, oh, cool, here's some like cool math stuff. Here's like a cool way to create a little reinforcement network. Oh, basically these are all like events. It's all like a giant event emitter with like knobs and buttons and things you need to tweak. So yeah. Oh God, yeah. I just yeah. I feel like there's legit really good applications. Um it's like a fun heuristic you can apply for many things, right? Like if you treat it as like statistical analysis, like just today, not futuristic applications, but right today. If you, it's a cool way of doing stats. What if instead of acting in like 100% guarantees, you acted in ranges and probabilities? Then you could probably do stuff like speed up algorithms and make like more compact data structures because you can optimize for some things, like the JPEG, like the better JPEG compressor thing, which just had a bunch of magic values. And was like, cool. People shouldn't be able to tell the difference with these values, but the resulting byte size is like 30% smaller. And it was like, oh yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. Let's take that. Like I think those are things that where AI is excellent right now today. And all the self-driving car stuff, maybe someday. I don't know, but literally also all this stuff. I'm really so about it. Anyway, boo AI, yay AI. When there is an AI writing better AI, then I'm out. Oh yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like, have you seen? Have you seen? So think of it this way, right? Um, Actually, if you had a compiler that's an AI, technically you could, with enough like input data and like people writing code, with enough training data, it might start detecting bugs. That's tricky though. But if you think of like Rust as state of the art in terms of like figuring stuff out about your code, um, I would like to see an AI try. Like it's going to be lots and lots of trial and error and probably not worth it. And in the end, you can achieve trivial tasks, not complex tasks. Or like, I haven't seen any AI that's, for example, cool. Let's figure out like a better way of doing mesh networking or something like that, right? Like find a better mesh network algorithm and implement it. Oh, I've actually seen that. Airbnb, like a pallet Airbnb, had something that did that. They had a component toolkit, and then they could look at just a sketchnote thing. Uh, it's John Gould. I could like use a component toolkit, be like, oh, cool, this means image, and I would like find a image element that more or less resemble that size and would like place it. So I actually, this is like a cool version of it. I don't mind that. That's pretty cool. Yes, 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 yes. I'm just gonna break the whole build, which is fine with me. All right. Oh, man, just 45 lines changed. Actually, 44. because we need to revert one. That's just terrible. Actually, I'm kind of curious. What happens if we run cargo test here? Dope. Alright, so that just doesn't work. That's fine. Great. Pull requests. Oh my god, someone made this. That's amazing. Symbol tests. Files change, cargo tunnel, test lib. Wow. That is amazing. Okay, wonderful. Right. That's alright. Hey, we've been going for 2.5 hours now. I think it's time for me to tap out again. It's been fun, but I need to figure out my ear situation. And probably have some food. And maybe a small nap. Or something like that. Oh, what's this? What's this? For Alright. Hey, it was good hanging out. Catch you later. Bye. Bye. Have a good day. And great weekend. Okay, no, that's it.